Welcome back to another episode of All Things Weather with Anthony and Brodie. Anthony will have a look at the tropics, but let's get to your local forecast, shall we? Taking a live look, satellite radar. We're quiet, and we like to keep it that way here in the weather department, but this will probably change as we go into the middle and end of the week. Temperatures right now are in the low to mid 80s, 86 for Vernon, to 83 Columbus, 82 in Starkville. So it's a steamy night. We're above average. We're only almost 10 degrees above average in some places. But in the MSU weather forecast for your Monday, as you're getting out the door, heading off to those 8 a.m.s, it's going to be a steamy morning. Lows only in the low 70s, but we'll have abundance amount of sunshine. That's going to allow us to warm up in the low 90s. You can see 92 Vernon, Aberdeen, Houston, Starkville, Eupora. So just those lower 90s with highs, few clouds, but lots amount of sunshine for your Monday. Now, in what we're tracking right now, the last few days, we're counting down the last couple of days of these 90s, and I think we can say goodbye to the 90s until next year. So we're counting those last couple of hot days away. Then rain chances increase toward the middle of the end of the week, and that's because we're talking some more tropical trouble in the Caribbean and to the Gulf. Anthony will talk about more kind of in-depth look at that here later on. I'll give you a brief synopsis. But temperature over the next couple of days, lower 90s, middle of the week, we're getting the 80s and low, mid 70s. That's because lots of clouds cover, some rain chances, and that's going to slow our warming process throughout the day, and then lower 80s by the weekend. Now, the tropical outlook, 40% chance of formation within the next 48 hours, 80% chance within the next 7 days. Now, where could this system will go? Like I said, Anthony will have an in-depth look, but this is one model. This can and will change, so don't take this to the gospel. But you can see we start to see a good circulation Wednesday and Thursday in the central Gulf of Mexico as that lifts northward toward our neck of the woods and toward the central Gulf coastline. Then Thursday, start to see some impacts along Alabama, Mississippi coastline, Florida coastline, and then this in particular model has making a landfall over in Apalachicola, Big Bend, places like that. Again, this is one model. This cannon will change. But basically, anywhere from Lafayette, Louisiana, through the Tampa Bay area needs to be watching this system because some of the ensembles shifted more west, some shifted more eastward. Like I said, Anthony will talk about that here. But overall, you need to be watching, paying attention. If you live on the coastline, just kind of review those hurricane plans. If you've already had to put them in activate from last week to Francine, you might have to do it again, sadly. But again, just a good time to revisit those hurricane preparedness options or plan. 92 for your Monday, lower 90s for the first part of the week. Clouds come in, rain chances come in, mid 70s, and then we're back in the low 80s by the weekend. But Anthony, let's talk about the tropics, so let's get it straight to you.
Yeah, Brodie, there's a lot to talk about, so let's jump right into it. I want to start off with kind of setting up the picture about this hurricane season. This is accumulated cyclone energy. This is a chart I pulled off from online. Notice how Beryl, we started off very busy because of Beryl, but over the last couple months, besides Ernesto, tropical storm Hurricane Ernesto, we haven't really seen a lot. And we're actually right now below average for hurricane cyclone energy. And this is probably going to change over the next couple of days because we have a tropical system that we're looking at. We're calling it right now Invest 97L. Before it gets its tropical name, that's what we're calling it. A 50% chance to develop in that region over the next 2 days, and an 80% chance, notice, to develop in this region over the next week. So there's pretty high confidence, and this confidence is only increasing about this tropical system. So let's talk about it and show you what it's doing right now. There's been a pretty big convective burst here over the last few hours as we're recording this. So notice these deeper reds right here. And notice, off in the Gulf, there's not really much going on. So what's going on with that? There's a lot of dry air. There's a old frontal boundary right here. So although there's a lot of moisture going on right here, it's going to take its time and it's going to struggle a little bit in the short term as it heads further to the north into this more dry air. But overall, models are showing it heading further north. And see that high pressure system over the next few days dominating. Take a look at how low pressure comes in and it keeps on heading further north. And this, an area of disturbed weather, is going to be the main area that's going to dictate where this storm goes. Where this exactly goes, we don't exactly know. It could shift a little bit this way. This low can shift a little bit further that way. But it's looking like this general area, there's confidence that a tropical system in the Gulf with the warm water is going to be heading in this general direction towards the Florida coast, Alabama coast, Mississippi coast, all the way down potentially even to the Tampa coast as well. So there that tropical system is, and this is Saturday, and it could linger a little bit as that low kind of remains there, but that's kind of far out in the forecast. We won't dive too much deep into that. So here's our spaghetti models. Notice how they're pretty tight, going a path between Cuba and Mexico, and then the Florida coast is right now looking like the bullseye for this particular storm, but we don't know quite yet, again, where it's going to land. Where it does, those areas are going to get 2 to 3, even upwards of 4 to 5 inches of rainfall. Right now, Starkville is like on that delineating line, but we're going to see this change over the next couple of days. We do need the rain. We are in a drought, a 2 out of 4 drought in Oktibbeha County and Winston County, Noxubee County, even Monroe County, and Yellowbusha County as well. And that is including Francine's impact. So Francine did a little bit good, but not quite everything that we needed. Tropical conditions are going to be possible again. That's the main thing that we kind of know at this point. We know that it's possible. Timing is going to be from Friday through the weekend. And we want to stay up to date, day by day. You know, as we get into work, sometimes we get a little bit distracted about the kids, everything going on, or, you know, things happen, you know, it's life. But we want to stay up to date, kind of day by day, just to get a general picture from your favorite sources. And don't compare this to Francine, because every storm is different, could have different impacts. Heavy rain bands get set up in different places. The best thing to do is stay up to date. That's all we got. We'll update you as things change.